So welcome everybody. Hope you enjoyed your lunch. Got back into it. It's been a good morning, and we're going to start our afternoon sessions. And I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker is Mac Long. Mac has got a great history in the industry. He has experience on the contractor side, sold his company to Knife River. Then he has experience on the DOT side. Mac was the head of the Montana DOT. He was the 2-year chair, I think, of Committee on Construction, which is an AASHTO program. And as you can tell by the smile on his face and some of the humor he's been bringing, he leaves you with a good feeling and happy to be here. So we're glad we have Mac, and take it from there.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everyone. It is an honor to be here. It's an honor to be a part of this team. I told you a little bit earlier, but I've known Patrick for a while, and he was very gracious when I was with the DOT, and John's been with DOT, and you guys have been with the DOT. Very slow moving, a glacial pace. But be that as it may, coming from the contractor side, I tended to be very quick moving, let's go. And you'll find out that about me. I don't stand still. I'm not afraid to talk. I can always throw out a bad joke. What kind of horses do ghosts ride? Nightmares? See, I mean, that's just, you gotta have a joke. And I got known both at the DOT level at AASHTO, when we'd had our DOT meetings, WASHTO, always had a joke. And I thank Dave, that was one of my favorite ones, a belt of watches, a waste of time. So you gotta have a joke, you gotta smile. I'm quick and easy to smile. A little bit about me. I started in the construction family. My grandfather started Casper Concrete in 1948. He went to University of Maine, got his degree in civil engineering, wanted to go be in the Seabees, had bad back, bad eyes, bad everything, so he went to work for Bureau of Indian Affairs. Did that, brought my grandmother out from Kents Hill, Maine to Holbrook, Arizona. They got married out there. They ended up in Riverton, Wind River Indian Reservation, Wyoming. He got tired of working for the government, which I can understand, and he bid to do the concrete foundations for the new strategic oil reserve outside of Midwest Wyoming. And he won that bid, started Casper Concrete in 1948. I got lucky in 1998, 50 years later. I had come back, got my First degree in business in the 80s. I could have either gone to work for Kmart or Sears. So I said, nope, not doing that. Stayed in construction because I've been doing construction, like Nate and I were talking, since I was 14. Can you run a shovel? Yeah. Can you run a sawed-off shovel? Yeah. Okay, get in the loader trap, load-out trap on the crusher. Keep that tail pulley clean. And again, some of us are old enough, there's no guards underneath there. There was no ear protection. I had a bandana on so I could breathe, and my baseball cap, and you just learned you were careful when you dug that out. Well, now, luckily, I got all my hands, and you learn quickly, really quickly in construction. That's a lot of work. What I want to do is be an operator, like Nate and I talked. Okay, first, can you do a shovel? Yeah. Can you do a rake? And here, sit behind on the grade line and rake it right. Okay, well, maybe you can get to the screed. Maybe you can get to the paver. Maybe you can get to the loader. So I was lucky enough. I can still run equipment. That's how I got my job with Kiewit. I went back, got my construction engineering degree, career fair. I walked by their booth, and they got a Blanox paver, and then a cat excavator and a cat front end loader. I looked at them, I said, I can run all those. I wasn't gonna talk to them, they're Kiewit, they're big, I don't wanna travel. I can run all those. Walking away, and wait, come back here, what? You can run all these? Yeah, that's a Blanox paver, and that's a 966 loader. You really can? Yeah. You got your resume? So next thing you know, I'm working for Kiewit in Texas and loved it. In Kiewit, you move all the time. I got lucky. I got to spend a year estimating, and then I went out to the field, and we started, and I got to build the whole job out in West Texas, and then I went to that light rail project in downtown Dallas. And I loved my time with Kiewit. Then I went back to work for Dad, which was great, but didn't pay as well. Benefits weren't as good. But I was at home where my family's from, Billings, Montana. So my dad, myself, my daughter, all born in the same hospital. So I got to be home. Time went on, and we decided, again, I keep pointing to Nate, we understand you're on fourth generation with your company now?
The owners of our company, yeah, they're in the fourth generation.
See, that's wonderful. We were third generation, and Dad and I decided we needed to do something different that was just risky enough. And so in 2000, we joined Knife River, which was a part of MD Resources, which is out of Bismarck, North Dakota. And that worked well, we thought, for all of our employees because they were more stable. It is interesting, though, corporates just aren't quite as adaptable as family companies. Love Knife River, love what they're doing, but it is interesting that when you're private, there's something about private. There's something about knowing that what we can do, and especially even to the consultant engineers, you guys know it. I mean, AECOM, there's not a lot of flexibility. I mean, Jacobs, but some of the smaller ones, you can have the flexibility, and that's wonderful. I tell you all that to say that's what, when Patrick and I were talking, that's what I loved about OnStation. It was down at the level that I've grown up as, that I love working. Even as a DOT director, I got out of the office all I can. Where stuff happens is out in the field. Where stuff happens is what's the most important. I mean, that's what we do. We build stuff, and we love building it, whether you're DOT, consulting engineers, or contractors. And that's what OnStation does so well, is help us build stuff. And so, Patrick, like I told you, want to be an employee? No, I'm a lousy employee. I got lousy jokes. I'm probably not safety-oriented enough, as you heard. And I'd rather be out in the field than in this. But I'll do what I have to do for Patrick. So we'll start going on, forward, right? So again, some of my presentation today is, again, aligning goals. And we talked a little bit about it. I thought it was interesting. Our roadmap, what we talked about, we all have those same goals. How do we build the project? build it quickly, safely, efficiently, and get the project dumped or punch list out. Get it done, because we want to get paid as contractors. As DOT, we want to get it off our books and get the next one going. As design engineers, get it done. We got more stuff to do, so how do we do that together? And I think, who said, oh, you were talking about working with the DOT. Isn't it fun? How come it's emergencies that make us work together? And I saw that. So when I was the director, I pushed really hard on partnering, collaboration, working with contractors, because those success stories are incredible and it's fun. And so that's where my goal as the director of Montana MDT was, let's make work fun. Let's have fun. I'll tell jokes, whether people laugh or not, who cares, but let's have fun. Let's build things because we're builders, and let's do it together. Let's collaborate. Let's get things done the way we want it to get done, which is as a team. So I enjoyed that, and I pushed it. Does it always work? No, you guys know that. There's still those inspectors out there. Sorry, Chris, not you, of course, but there's still those inspectors out there that love to play gotcha. And there's nothing I hate more than, I could have told you back there, but I didn't. I waited till 2 weeks later. Oh yeah, I saw what you did back there, but I'm going to give it here, 2 weeks in a piece of paper, and now we got a punch list, and it's a pain, and I hated that kind of thing. When I ran the general manager for Knife River, it was family, and I was in Casper being the general manager. We sold to Knife River, and we were Knife River by this time. Again, the resident engineer for YDOT, we had done great. We'd gotten bonuses on gradation, on densities, on ride, on the paving. All we had to do was the chip seal. And he was mad at us. He came out the last 2 days and told the inspectors to take that gradation for the chips. And it was where our floor was. We'd pushed it out of the way. And even the inspector who came and told me said, they're not even going to use those chips. Nope, you do that. So we ended up getting deduct on the last 2 days on our chip seal. So that's the kind of BS that resident engineers, that DOTs can do that, again, are the frustrating. They're the complete antithesis of what we're trying to do. We, as a team, whether contractors, engineers, DOTs, are trying to build things. But we can't take care of it all. There's always going to be that gotcha, that one inspector, that one person. And my advice is just smile. Smile. It's like marriage. You can't always be right. Sometimes you just say, yes, dear, you're right, and you go on, because that's what's important. So I don't know if that's quite less friction or if it's just giving up, but it's trying to be that. There's the marriage therapy coming out, right? So, and the next thing we'll talk about a little bit is, again, I give Patrick credit. He gives me credit. And like I tell Dave, I don't know much. I'm just a simple kid out of Montana who likes to build shit. And that's it's that easy. But Patrick gives me credit because I got to go run a DOT, which I'm very grateful for. I don't know why the government or the governor actually picked me, but there's a story behind that too. Our governor came from the private sector. He was also a software guy. He invented or code for banking, helping banks clear their checks quicker. And it became Right Now Technologies in Bozeman, Montana. Did very well, sold to Oracle. He has lots and lots of money. But he came from the private sector, so he opened up all the directorships. Usually most governors, it's a favor to somebody. Montana's had some of the worst directors because it's a political favor. He said, nope, I'm going to open this up to anybody. I didn't tell my wife. I got on the website, turned in my resume and said, I can do that. I'll be the director. I know what they do. I fought them for 30-some years. I can do this. And I get a call from a contractor friend of mine. The governor also then put together a selection committee. So again, it wasn't political. He had a county commissioner, a contractor, someone from the other, he's a Republican, a Democrat leader from the Senate, and someone else. He had 5 or 6 people. But I knew the contractor. He called me up. Are you serious? What do you mean? Yeah, well, there's 63 applications, and there's only 3 that are any good, and you're one of the 3. I'm like, cool. Hang up the phone, and my wife like, what did Tim want? Well, honey, I might have checked a box. And again, after 30-some years of marriage, my wife, what did you do? I do. Well, I checked a box to apply for, and being the supportive partner she is, no, I'm not going to Helena, I'm not moving, I'm not giving up. And so I did end up getting the position, loved it. My wife and home was in Billings, and I bought a house in Helena, Montana, and commuted the 3.5 hours on the weekends. And so you got to keep family happy, and I took care of my public opportunity to be a director. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Last person, like I said earlier, you want to do is put the fox in charge of the hen house, but I loved it because, again, even on the first, this is 21, January 21, we were February, March, still doing everything on Teams. Our research part of MDT was working with Montana State University on ultra-high performance concrete that wasn't proprietary, that we could just do with fly ash and cement and additives and do it so we could do precast bridge decks and then tie it in with this ultra-high performance concrete. We're all talking, and I asked a question, one of our researchers, I said, that must be Class F fly ash. Everyone goes quiet. Who was that? You hear, so I think that was the director. And Lency, our researcher, was that you, Director Long? Yeah. You know Class F fly ash? Yeah. And we went on for 10 minutes talking about Class F fly ash and where you got it. And Wheatland, Wyoming had the best place out in the West. And so I was the kind of director, they were like, wow, you're not normal. So as you guys will know by the end of this, I'm not normal. And again, I thank Patrick for letting me be the special type of person to meet the box on this company that, but anyway, I try to, when it comes to leadership, don't be afraid of being who you are. I mean, if you're not a joke teller, that's okay. If you're not a hugger, which I am, that's okay, but it's too bad because hugs are good. Just be your type of leadership that you are and tie it back, in my opinion, tie it back to what I just said. Don't be afraid of partnering. Don't be afraid of pushing your DOT or pushing your consultants. The guys, this is an emergency, but let's work together. Let's think of what we're trying to get done, which is building. All we want to do, all OnStation wants to do, contractors, consultants, engineers, we want to build stuff. So what does it take to build stuff? Just do it. Be open. Be honest. Show that the guts, or in my case, I'm not afraid of being a little different. Be different. Be outgoing. So, and then how do you overcome barriers or roadblocks? Again, back to the leadership, back to the working together. Try something. Don't be afraid. A lot of it, again, John, you were with the DOT long enough. 99% of DOTs do things out of fear. And again, even people, I mean, you can go as basic as us as humans, but I see it with DOTs, they get afraid. They get used to one way, and you do it one way out of, is it the best way? No. It's all we know, and we don't have to push ourselves. We don't have to look at innovation or changes. Dave and I were talking that there was a contractor somewhere that said, one thing we don't like is the way things are. The other thing we really don't like is change. And it's like, okay, thank you for being honest. And so Dave and I keep trying to go to these DOT things who are already afraid and get them. What don't you like? Oh, we don't like having to do everything this way. Okay, we can help you change. Oh God, no, not change. Just tell us we can do it. Don't make us change. And that is, in my opinion, some of the toughest things we all deal with every day. And I take it back to whether it's marriage, kids, jobs, what we've tried to build, getting over that fear. I mean, we tend to do so much out of fear, the spec books out of fear, done out of fear. I mean, even sometimes company policies out of fear. Again, I want to talk to the pavers. Nate and I were talking. Knife River has technology that uses the camera in the rear view mirror, see if the drivers are wearing seatbelts. Our distributor driver, tack truck driver, he has to take the seatbelt off so you can look out the window so you're driving along, making sure you get it right. It flags them every time. And I'm like, I've done that. I was a kid back there trying to do the wand, keep up with the tack truck and don't screw it up, and you come home covered with black. How do you use technology to help not play gotcha? And I say that because technology can help us. That our drivers, do you make the tack truck driver wear his seatbelt while he's trying to distribute? Or just when he gets there? I called up the truck boss and said, I can see that. Okay, if he's filling it up from the refinery or and driving it to the job site, yes, wear your seatbelt. That's safety. When you're on the job site and you're trying to get the taper just right, don't worry about his seatbelt. Now we're starting to get nitpicky, so thank you. I'm getting good feedback too while I'm talking about don't let things hold you back. Don't let roadblocks hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. And with that, talking about mindset, that's back to that. You can see how they all tie together. That comes back to us personally. What's our mindset? What are we doing both to help with innovation, both to help being leaders, and both to help getting over and getting that partnership going? So how can you position your team as problem solvers? Like I just said, just being open and honest and saying, let's do it. It doesn't have to be an emergency. Emergencies are great examples. We did a big project in Montana as a DOT, same thing, big floods, took out a whole chunk of highway going up to the Beartooth Highway in Red Lodge. Amazing what we were able to overcome and do. We still had to fight our own agencies. The Fish and Game and EPA said, oh, you can't mess the stream up. It's like, are you kidding? It just got completely blown out. It moved boulders almost as big as a house. I mean, this was huge. And now you're saying we can't move that? Well, a lot of that, again, is that problem-solving mindset. You're right. You go over to the office and we'll talk about it, and you look at the contractor, get that stuff out of there, get it moved, get it taken care of, and by the time I bring them back out, no problem. It's done. And again, there's that contractor mentality in a DOT director that what you don't see didn't happen. It's okay now. And so I'm not saying don't follow the rules, but understand we got to get things done, and we are doers. Contractors are doers. Design engineers are doers. Inspectors are doers. We are all doers. That's part of that builder mentality. So embrace it, be proud of it, and go do it. And sometimes, like I said, you have to put the inspector over here and go get it done over here. And how is it? It's perfect. Don't ask. No questions. So now we're to the point, should I answer questions before we do this?
Take a couple questions. I have one question.
Okay.
Talking about leadership, and you can run your own company and this department, how do you help bring the next leaders on and into the industry, especially as most of this industry is kind of aging out and you need to bring the younger crew up? What are some strategies that you've seen successful to initiate the next crew in the leadership positions?
I'll answer that in two parts because I'm struggling with one part. The very younger leaders, I don't always understand because they want to be leaders, 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday. Don't interfere with my Friday or weekends. And that's where I'm still not quite, and I love the consulting engineers. My daughter works for IMAG, a little consulting engineer firm, and I even get after her. Well, we had all this planned for the weekend, and honey, you might have to work. Well, I had to work because no one else would do it, and I've taught her, do it, do it. I didn't like to, but I volunteered. So how do you get over that mentality? I don't know on the younger ones yet. Most of them, I'm a big proponent, give them a try. Give someone a try. Kiewit was excellent in my development that go get it done. Okay, how do I get it done? We don't care, just get it done. You're an engineer, you went through construction engineering, get it done. The project I did in West Texas, ended the job, and they'd taken all the equipment away, the office chair. I had nothing, and back then, didn't even have cell phones, so I had a pocket full of quarters to use the payphone out in the middle of nowhere, and called up the boss, and he said, well, you got a company credit card, don't you? Yeah, use it. And so things as simple as that, just here. He gave me the opportunity to get it done with no questions asked. And so sometimes you take the people who you think are leaders and push them a little bit. He never questioned it. I used the credit card. I went to get the local contractor. I said, charge me T&M, and you're going to follow me. And the day we were walking through doing the punch list, I was writing it down on my pad, giving it to the labor, because I kept one labor on, so I didn't have to do all of it. He was running it back. The resident engineer, 10 miles of road, was coming back through, calls me that night and said, you're the first contractor that had already started on the punch list before I was even off the job. So I don't know if that means I have any leadership. It just means back to punch list, why we put it up as the flag. That's a pain in the ass. We want to get that stuff done. So, but you take your leaders like that and give them opportunities. Kiewit gave me opportunities, Knife River gave me opportunities. Even DOT gave me opportunities because when they needed someone to run the committee on construction for AASHTO, they came and asked me, and they took a risk. Dave's been at those meetings, and I was not the typical leader. I got up there and I told bad jokes, and I told them the contractor's not the bad guy, and we as a DOT better start to learn to work with the contractors, because that's the only way we can do big projects. Who was talking about the bridge with the railroad? Yeah, that is so cool. If you look at, they showed it to us because we're in Florida for the Committee on Construction. They did a whole presentation on that. What was there and what's going in there now and how they're doing that, that's cool. That's why we do what we do. It's like, yeah, that's cool. And so you take people and say, here, be part of that, and the leaders will naturally come up. Any other questions? Yeah.
You mentioned, I think, maybe the blind spot with the departments might be kind of change or fear of change. What's the biggest blind spot you see from contractors on implementation?
For contractors, again, some of that is we are running so hard, we sometimes don't get to stop. I think you talked about that, where, again, when I grew up, we had the winters off, and you could actually decompress, and you had a time. Are there any more winters off? Even in Montana, where we do get a week of 20 below and that much snow, we don't stop. You might shut down the wash plant, but if the crusher can still crush, you go, you gotta go. And so from my opinion, for contractors, it's taking that time to decompress or to just stop, take time off and go do something. Even back to Lake Patrick, go think about leadership, go think about innovations, go think about family and work-life balance. I mean, I grew up, you could feed your kids or see your kids. I mean, my dad said the same thing. He goes, your mother raised you, me and my boys, he worked all the time. I tried to be at my kids' soccer games and junior high and high school events, but if there was something going on, it was work first. And now back to that young leadership, they're putting their life balance before their work balance, and I keep telling them, wait, it needs to be a little of both. And so for us contractors, how do you balance everything when we don't have time? It's that time management. But great question. Any other questions?
Yep, in this box, Matt.
All right.
All right.
So
Go ahead and just pick them.
where did we? Oh,
Nope, go back.
I gotta go
That's
back. That is you.
Here you go. Yours.
Oh.
Nope, you're just picking out of here.
What's the one barrier? So,
You read it. I don't have the mic on. Oh, sorry, you needed a
And some water.
yeah, but yeah, actually, yeah, I wish the water was the only thing. Right, boy, is that good or what? Finding the time to focus on resourcing the new technology. Was that yours?
Oh, look at
I
that.
was gonna say,
There.
it wasn't you, but that's what we were just talking about. Again, time. Back to, things are moving so fast. It's just, OnStation helps us. And OnStation is great with that because we're getting what we need without a lot of steps. But how do we keep growing it and getting it to other contractors? Finding the time. One barrier in adapting new technology, there is always a learning curve and
Initial training.
initial training, bugs work out, getting other people on board. Yes. Yes, that's the answer to that. Yes, it's always. Patrick even,
Mike, was that yours? Who
No.
was that?
yes. But yeah, it's true. And it's true with anything. Again, I point to Nate, we were just talking about screeds. A couple of guys out of Wyoming invented a new paver screed. I don't know if you guys use it, yeah, the diamond. Cat bought it, and it's a cool screed. But again, how do you have time to, okay, now go try this new screed and test it, but wait, you better get your 4,000 tons down today, and don't, and that right there, how do you get the bugs out? It's interesting, like I was telling Nate, it leaves the phantom grooves, and people still don't like it. First impressions, it's a beautiful screed, but the first impression is it leaves funny marks. And those marks aren't there, they're phantom marks, but it's still that first impression like we were talking about. What's more important, how it works or first impressions? So, again, the barriers, getting the end user to invest the time to implement it. Same theme, it's the time.
So how do you overcome that?
How do you overcome that?
Yeah.
The beatings will continue until morale improves. You will do it, and you will do it, and you will like it, and I want it. So 20 years from now, when you get a more Gen X speaker up here, you might get a better answer, but right now, go, do it, learn it faster. That's what weekends are for, right? Take it home, learn it on the weekends. Do you think that will work?
No.
Okay. No. You've tried it already? No? Did you try it? Did they make?
Yeah, no one wants to do it on the weekends
Ah,
back.
come on. Nothing better than when Patrick and I are up skiing in Big Sky and here, look
Lucky
at this.
you.
Look at this. Look at this app. I mean, all the way up on the chairlift. He's helping, and Dave will call us. And where are you? Doing field research. Okay. Again, barriers and how to barrier faced while adapting, getting everyone on board to accept and adopt.
Oh, it
Amen.
looks like there's a common theme here.
Yes, again, and so there is patience, even though I like my way better. Meetings will continue until morale improves. Depending on how old you're trying to get the adopter, you can use that. Anything? Last one?
How about
Have you
cost?
given me the sign yet?
One more. The cost.
The cost. How do you overcome it?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I love being a DOT.
There you go, people.
But it's true. I love being a DOT director because for once in my life, I didn't worry about production or budget. DOT is wonderful. I'd sit there in a meeting and they'd complain and I said, it's not our money. Do we have the money? Oh yeah, we have millions. WTF, people. We have millions. Why are we, well, we got to do it just, no. We have money. Throw money at it. Get it out of there. And within my tenure, we were able to get things out a lot faster. We even, thanks to the legislature, started using some of the ARPA money that came out. We funneled it through maintenance. We didn't have to follow the same contracting rules, the same advertising rules, the same pre-bid. You dump 30, 40 million into maintenance. They started putting mill and fills and chip seals and workhorses out within 6 months. Boom. And they got all 35 million out within 18 months. Just boom, boom, boom. So a lot of people, especially with Dave and I at DOTs, well, what about the cost? Contractors are the best example of the cost is secondary. Does it work? Does it help? Can we do something better, easier, faster? And the contractors have said yes. I mean, yeah, where a lot of consulting engineers or DOTs, well, no, we're way too cheap. OnStation is one of the least expensive apps out there. It is so cheap, inexpensive, not cheap, it's inexpensive. It's easy. Yeah, inexpensive, not cheap. Yeah, you can go to Temu or Harbor Freight if you want cheap. And I can show you 2 or 3 crescent wrenches that either snapped or have a bend in it, and they were cheap. We are inexpensive. Cost is, in my opinion, not even an issue. And how I prove that to my DOT family is look at the contractors. Contractors are the most efficient people I know. We have to be. Because what does a contractor do that most people don't realize? We're insurance people. We give the DOT a guaranteed fixed price, guaranteed completion date in the future. That's an insurance company. No one else can do it. We do that every day. We don't know what the weather's going to be, what the oil, what the labor, what everything, but we've just told a government agency, we will guarantee this fixed price and guarantee this performance in the future. I mean, why do that? No one should do that in their right mind. And we do that as contractors every day and love it and ask for more. And so that's where, on the DOT side, I keep telling them cost is secondary. Cost is secondary to what are you getting? What do you have in your hand? And this is an excellent, thank you all for being here, because this is an excellent conference group, users group, whatever you want to call it, to share those ideas. And then, like you said, Scott, you can learn. You get to see this, what's inside the box before you even buy. I mean, we know a lot of us are already using it, know it, we love it. but the feedback is great. And so how do you take this and say, okay, next year we're going to double the size of people? I mean, you've been here how long with HNTV and used it in 3-4 years? Yeah. I mean, before we even knew what masks and COVID were. I mean, when we still had freedom. So, sorry, digress there.
Close with one last joke.
Okay, why don't seagulls fly over a bay? Because then they'd be called bagels. There was a good one in Florida. What do you call an alligator in a safety vest? An investigator. So it worked well. Yeah, the Florida. Thank you.
Greg, give me some notes. What am I doing?
Even through the, I just misspelled it. The next thing I noticed was even though the themes had changed over the years.
Did you just OD on caffeine, Greg?
Probably, yeah.
She's like, how do we feel about lowering our caffeine? And I'm like, we don't feel good about it. We're gonna ask you to talk about something else.
Yeah. And it didn't pick up my voice to keep doing the teleprompter.
Because it probably was going too slow.
You should read mine.
Well, I think the most impressive, are there outtakes for this?
Right now, it's
It is really impressive.
Pound it.
Because I read fast. All right, but I gotta fix my hair to make sure it looked the same. Okay.
Greg said it's okay.
This is always.
Definitely a paid actor.
You are.
Low budget, because I'll forget my lines.
Can I let,
Whoa! Dave, is that you? He can come in. Hold on. I thought I had locked it. Oh, you have the key.
do you wanna say it again just in case?
No,
Okay.
keep going.
You're good.
Take it again.
I know what RBS is. Angela calls it an RIF. A resting intense face.
Yeah.
Hang on one second.
Ah. And you didn't smile at all.
That's because I was thinking.
Yeah. So.